So we're going to talk about an incident that took place recently in Ghaziabad, where 3 young sisters jumped from a 9-story building, eventually taking their lives with them. It is not just an ordinary suicide incident that just happened. It has a story behind it, and which it is very distressing to consider it.
Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah.
And when this news came out that this suicide happened, so for those who you don't know about the news,
Can you just give our viewers just about what had happened?
So basically, 3 teenage girls, one 14-year-old, one 16-year-old, 12-year-old, committed suicide together.
Yeah.
And these girls had not been to school since over 5 years, according to the latest reports. They didn't have a good relationship with their parents, and they were constantly addicted to this Korean love game.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
And this addiction was not restricted to only the love game. This addiction was completely into Korean culture and Korean pop culture and Korean language, everything. They like lived in a mini Korea in Ghaziabad.
Yep.
And they didn't have a good relationship with their parents also. So what's your opinion on this? Because this is, I couldn't even think that such incidences could happen.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So when children are transitioning from their childhood to the adolescent years, we notice a drastic change in their identity. And their societal behavior and the influence of various things shape their perspective. This is where our mind needs to contemplate upon. Yeah.
And just 2 years back, because this is not an individual case.
Yeah.
2 years back in Visakhapatnam, from Visakhapatnam a couple of girls go to Chennai, and from there a ship container was going, and so they illegally go inside the ship container because the ship container was going to South Korea. They were so obsessed with Korean culture and K-pop, everything, that they planned to just load in that ship and go.
Yeah.
And this is what we have come to. So my analysis of this is a mental health issue.
Yeah, it is actually.
And this is based on digital addiction. If you look at this Ghaziabad case, all 3 girls used to be in their phone all the time.
Yeah.
According to a recent neighbor interview, they used to just be on the phone all the time. They used to be on their screens all the time, glued to the screens.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is basically a mental health issue, and we as a society and people as parents need to take care of the children even better.
Yeah.
That's the only way to resolve such cases. What do you think?
And also, as I went through the news and the reports, the suicide note states that these kids are so much obsessed with this Korean pop culture, singers and everybody. Even though they're in India, they thought that they belong to Korea.
That's what I said. They built a mini Korea in their house.
Yeah.
They lived in delusions.
Yeah.
And they didn't listen to their parents. Their parents were hardworking, lower middle class parents.
Yeah.
But one more thing, sorry, I got the topic of parents. One more thing we should consider, that even this family that we're talking about, allegedly the father had 2 marriages also and many things. So even this family was not a good family sort of thing. It was also a disturbed family.
Right.
I believe that this family, where these 3 innocent girls had committed suicide, they were already very disturbed in life.
Yep. Conceptualizing in their minds about this thing, and they're sort of living in a false reality. All right, this perceptual dimension in their mind, it is being disturbed completely, and this is impacting their mental health. The addiction to the media. First thing, first thing is addiction to the media, and the second thing is that these girls, they're not having much exposure to their nearby surroundings. They're isolating themselves from the reality, fantasized world, sort of like a Disney world.
Can I say a point?
Yeah.
I agree and disagree with that. You know why?
Yeah.
Because look, you will have all sorts of trends and cultural.
Over the years,
cultural trends over the years. In the 70s, it was rock music.
Yeah, like Beatles. Fans were obsessed with Beatles, and also the Elvis
90s,
music.
2000s, it was hip hop, and now it's K-pop. But the point is that cultural trends will keep going on.
Yeah.
But if you surrender yourself so much to the trend or so much to the musician or personality, that's when it's bad.
Right.
And these people are basically victims of addictions, social media addictions, digital addictions. And that's the basic issue over here. More than, because in social media, people are blaming K-pop.
Yeah.
People are blaming South Korean culture, destroying our kids. I don't think there's none of that. Because we had cases of, PUBG players killing themselves a couple of years back during COVID. When Pokemon Go became viral, people used to kill themselves for what reasons?
Yep.
So, This is the whole problem. I think so. It's more of mental health.
Yeah, mental health thing.
Problems.
I mean, even you know,
addictions,
recently the economic survey, you know, in the parliament, they've mentioned that you know, these kinds of social games. For example, these girls were, you know, addicted to these digital games. These kinds of games takes our mind into a direction where it's not supposed to, and you know, causing mental health issues. These kinds of mental imbalances happen when, you know, you're not limiting it and you're going over the counter. For example, it would be ideal for you to spend 1 or 2 hours, but sitting all day in front of a screen and forgetting about the rest of the world.
Exactly.
Do you think it's right? I mean, do you think our mind is going to evolve in any way?
No, it's not going to evolve. Because at the end of the day, you're just consuming. Just consuming more and more content. You're becoming essentially a slave to it. You're not producing anything. You're not doing anything productive. And this is the main issue that people need to have a discussion about, instead of blaming some cultural trend or blaming a country. Coming back to the topic, it is not only that. These girls were obsessed with Korea so much, they wanted to marry a Korean man. Also.
I mean, even their suicide note stated
suicide
it. You know?
Notes
they don't want to marry an Indian. They want to marry a Korean person.
So I know, I think so. We cannot speak so much for the girls that actually passed away. Because, you know, not all the information is known. We still don't know the names.
Right.
And I think so that we should leave it over there. But what we can prevent other cases like this is that we need to have more discussions about addictions, and also how we can prevent more social media addictions, mental health issues. We need to speak on this topic rather than just, you know, blaming somebody.
Think of it in a certain way. I mean, you know, you're just a curious person and you discover something, you started loving them. That doesn't mean you ignore your life.
That's what I said, that the individual personality needs to be contained. You cannot just, you know, surrender yourself completely to anything.
I mean, everybody has their own unique abilities, you know. You can compare yourself with the life of another person, you know. So I feel like in such regard, in such way, these things need to be, you know, considered. So Satvik, I would like to bring out a point over here.
Sure.
So, you know, I feel like we can correlate this case, the incident that has took place, to a psychological theory which was proposed by Erikson, and it is called stages of psychosocial development of a person. And, you know, in stage 5, of course, there is this thing called identity versus confusion. You know, when people, I mean, children get into their adolescent age, you know, they tend to, you know, based on, you know, the social outlook of themselves, and also, you know, the things that are taking across their surroundings, their mind starts to, you know, think, and, you know, that's where this identity crisis comes in. So I feel like these kids, you know, who belong to this age category, you know, must be facing with identity crisis.
You know, I think so, because of the identity crisis, they fell in prey and they started living in this delusional world. So I think so, I would just conclude by saying that, you know, we need to be more responsible as a society. We need to open more discussions, be more open-minded, speak more upon these mental health issues. That's the only way we can prevent such cases from happening.
It's also the influence of social media, you know. Social media, these things, I mean, they don't happen generally, you know. They are planned, they are curated. They don't just happen out of nowhere. It is completely planned, and it is the main intention behind this thing is to just, you know, target these kinds of innocent people and, you know, prey on them.
Exactly.
I say responsible viewing, responsible actions should be there, while also acknowledging the mental health, you know, importance.
So please comment down what do you think about this topic, this issue, this news that has heartbroken everybody, the whole country. Do tell us about that.
Thank you for watching DC Conversations. I hope you have a great day.